Hello, hello, and welcome to She's Connected. This is the group for the stressed out and overwhelmed moms who need to pause and connect to God, herself, and her kids. And we have Ireland with us today, who is not sleeping because I always have trouble the Friday morning getting everything done so I can make it to the live. I feel so gross today. This is Oliver, and he's going to be taking Ireland for me so she's not here screaming in our ears when I'm trying to go live, and we're going to learn this lesson today. Okay, so here you go. You know where to go, right?
Yes.
All right. Love you. Cole, come here, say hi.
Hi.
Okay, now go out and shut the door. Okay, so this is our live today. We have transitions. We transition to this room here. This is my bedroom, and my computer chair does not fit underneath this desk, so I feel like I'm always reaching for the stuff over here, which it's been different. Have you ever transitioned something or changed a room around and then everything's different and your mind can't really like, I don't know, comprehend or focus right? We also have back to school transition. It's August, everyone. What do you hope to get out of this study of emotions? My mind has been like under attack for the last couple weeks, and I'm definitely naming my feelings more. How about you? Let me know in the comments. So I guess my the thing that I'm hoping for and moving towards is, oh, I see someone in the comments. Yay, I actually see the comments, but not with my video. It's so Facebook's so weird how they show everything, but I am working towards that transformation that I want. Hello, Bev, and hello, Tina from Michigan. I'm Sherry, mom of 10, living in Springfield, Missouri, inspiring families and moms like you to live a life connected to God. Now, they are in the comments, but can they hear me? Do I have my microphone unmuted? I cannot believe I messed that up last live. But anyways, tell me about you in the comments. You know, where you're watching from, or how many kids you have, or how many pets you have. Um, Today's topic is untangle your emotions. We are on the Feel Plus session. So we're going deeper into feeling. We talked about the feel session last time. We watched Jennie's video and then got abruptly cut off and sent you to another live because I had my microphone off. And I went live again with the after her video section of the live. If that wasn't confusing at all, Beth says that she can hear me loud and clear. And I could see your comment. She transitions from her bed to her love seat every day. Oh, that's awesome. That transition out of bed can be difficult for a lot of people, especially those moms who have little kids who are actually waking them up before they even get out of bed. Early mornings are not my thing, so I totally get that transition. Welcome to High Five Friday. Woo, I hit that high five into the camera. You know, how was your week? Did you have any God moments? Share your story in the comments. I'm actually really feeling guilty about our homeschool coming up. Every summer, I like to take like 2 months asking, seeking God's wisdom, praying about what our homeschool is supposed to look like. And I knew this year was going to be different because we have Ireland, the baby. We gave birth in January, and um, I thought by now I would have a little bit of a rhythm and I would have been able to do what I normally do. And I have this whole workbook that I go through and I pray and I seek his guidance on what our homeschool is supposed to be and look like and feel. And, you know, what items do we have to buy? And are we going to do art journals? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? What are we going to start our day with? All the things. And I have not done that this year. And it's already August. I cannot believe it's already August, people. There's a lot of stuff happening in August for my family and probably yours. Uh, so I'm kind of feeling that guilt. I want to go in and do the summer poll and click the guilty because I'm really feeling it now. And I'm kind of feeling a little guilty about all the things that we accomplished over the summer because it really hasn't been that much, even though when I look back, we have done a lot. but it has been a lot of like nothing, I feel. Like nobody learned any big lessons. And we couldn't go on our trip because we stayed home for Dade and his treatments. And we are still having weekly visits with the doctor. And now we have tons of paperwork to do for school. It's crazy. So let's just open up with that prayer that I keep repeating throughout the study. God, I pray that we feel comfortable in your arms. Help us follow your plan for emotions and have those soft hearts. I pray that every mom be transformed by your word and your spirit. That's that transformation I'm looking for, God. Help me get there. Amen. Have you been feeling things this week? Last session was about feeling, and Jennie Allen's emotion process is notice, name, feel, share, and choose. And this week we're going to go deeper into feel. That's right. And you know what? I've learned Facebook going live through Zoom, connected to Facebook now, the delay seems even longer. So I will be talking about, hey, put that in the comments. And then, like, days later, in the days, not days, minutes later is when it actually shows up for you. So my copying and pasting of my comments and the things that I want to put in the comments hasn't been too like, I don't know, cohesive, but I cannot get the timing of the live. I even last week when I went live the second time, I hit that live button, but it doesn't say that it's live for a few minutes. So I was kind of like staring at my screen and figuring out what to do. And that's always like funny to me when people are doing that, but I totally understand why because the delay is so crazy. Anyways, we got Jennie Allen's emotion process. We got Bev talking about the older kids' first day of school is August 19th. Yes, here in Springfield, the school system starts on the 19th. So that is Dade and Miles. Those are the only two I have in high school, which is crazy. There's only two, but there are two. And Miles has a lot of dyslexia and learning disability complications with reading type thing. So we have a lot of paperwork to fill out for him. And Tina says that she's enjoying every day and thanking God. Wow, praise the Lord for that one, Tina. Emotions are not sin. Did you ever feel guilty because you feel afraid or sad? Did you ever feel guilty because you're feeling happy and maybe the people around you, your friends, aren't feeling happy? So you kind of feel guilty for feeling happy? I know I've felt those things. It's not enough that you're tangled up in your feelings. You add another conflict to the mix. I know I do. If you are like me and most humans, this is what happens. The voice of judgment telling you that you shouldn't feel that way comes up. Well, this is what the Bible tells us about Jesus. Since then, we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens. It's Jesus, the Son of God. He let us hold fast our confession. But we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then, with confidence, draw near to the throne of grace, and we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Now that's Hebrews 4, verses 14 through 16. You can't feel all your feelings and not sin. And you can feel all your feelings and sin. But feeling a feeling in and of itself is not a sin. God actually wants us to feel. And Beverly says that she has a God moment this week. She had a good doctor visit and everything seems to be good. So that's awesome. Woohoo. Praise God for doctor visits that go well. My last doctor visit, we were sitting there for 45 minutes when I saw someone that I knew. And I was like, oh, hey. And they were like, what are you doing? I was like, we're still waiting to get Dave's blood pressure checked. We go and we get a blood pressure check, and he pees in a cup for a urine sample. That's it. And we have to wait for over an hour. It's crazy. They have us on schedule. We were supposed to meet with somebody at 12:20 and it was after 1 or whatever it was, and we still hadn't seen anyone. It was crazy. She actually went in the back, figured something out for us, and we got in. But we didn't even see any doctor and we waited that long. It was so annoying. So when a doctor's appointment goes well, that is enough to praise God right there. Feeling your feelings is an invitation to, with confidence, draw to the throne of grace, what it says, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. For many of you, that idea will take some time getting used to, even for me. But feeling and having feelings is not sinful. So why don't you put feel in the comments? Because you can feel. It's okay to feel. So we're just going to shout it out from the rooftops and put it in the comments so everybody can see. You can feel. Even in this moment, hearing me tell you that it's okay to feel and asking you to fully embrace and engage some emotions. It's possible that you might not be comfortable with feeling because feeling can be difficult. You can experience some resistance. Maybe you think, I don't know what you're asking me. I'm confused. How do I know that I'm feeling and I'm doing it right? Thinking this or wondering whether you're doing it right is completely normal. But feeling isn't something you can really mess up. And it can be messy, and that's okay. Feeling actually comes naturally to us. You could do it from the moment that you were born. And I totally get this because I see Ireland every day feeling her feelings. And she lets us know if you commit to not stopping the feelings, then they will just come. We usually grow up learning how to stop the feeling or how to suppress it or how to do something else. Those three C's: how to cope, conceal, and control that. So we have to unlearn that process and we have to actually be okay with feeling. So here are some ways to not stop the feelings. You can be bored. Um, you can give yourself permission. I wrote down these things. You can look back. You can persist. Those are the ways. They're like far down on my notes too. Okay, being bored. Let your mind rest. Don't distract yourself with some kind of entertainment or various problem solving endeavors. I get so trapped up in whenever there's a dull moment, moving on to the next thing that I can learn, the next thing that I can solve, or this problem or that problem. And then when I'm not doing that, turn on that TV, distract myself. We pick up our phones and devices, and then I have books that I need to read. And then that's that distraction from actually feeling. Just actually schedule or block off some time to sit around for a while, to be still, or to be with God, or to just feel, or even just to cry. You can schedule in time to cry. Imagine that. Give yourself some quiet. And it doesn't mean that everybody else has to be quiet around you. Just give yourself some time where you're not going to answer the kid who's asking you to eat the 15th snack already. Or give yourself some time to say, it's okay if Ireland is fussy. She is in the walker and she is fine. Well, maybe you don't have a baby. Maybe you have adults in your life, partners or friends who are just noisy. Give yourself some time, set aside away from them, or let them know I'm going to take the next 10 minutes to sit and be quiet or to be still. And if they tend to ask you questions or bother you about what's next, just say, this is part of my 10 minutes or something like that. Make sure you let them know though, because if they don't know, then they will be bugging you. And just see what comes up. See what you start to actually feel. Do you have kids that tell you that they're bored? I definitely have some kids who let me know when they are bored because they want to do something. And it's okay to be bored. I'm telling you to put being boring or being bored in in your schedule. That's because it's okay to be bored and not have something to do. Our lists are so long, but actually by taking some time to pause in our schedule, it frees up some other time that you can focus because you're not shuffling with all those feelings that while you're trying to get all those things done, your feelings have been processed and felt. So then when you move on to the next thing in your schedule, you're ready to focus and go for it. It's okay to be bored. So why don't you put that in the comments? It's okay to be bored or boring. Actually, I'm laughing because I'm telling you to put boring in the comments, and I don't really want to be boring to you. When you don't keep yourself busy and moving from one thing to the next thing, you actually give yourself space to feel. And then bored. When I hear that from my kids or anyone, I think of this t-shirt that Ted has, and it has a skateboarder on it, and he has a cast, and it says feeling bored or being bored or something about being bored. Does it say feeling? That would be really cool to get that shirt to show everybody if it says feeling bored. I forget the exact wording, but it's talking about being bored. And I just love the shirt because it reminds me that it's okay to be bored. And that's what we're saying here. Oh boy. Oh, Tina says that we need to be still with God. Quiet time for reading is good. That is so true. And Bev says that she did have kiddos that told her she was bored. I was one of them. But now we are moved out of her house. And she now has a hubby. Her husband tells her that he's bored sometimes. And what do you do when you're bored? Usually you turn on the TV or you put on some music or you do something. But I'm kind of saying that it's okay to be bored. Oh, and then my husband is asking me a question right now. He knows I have a live every week. The next thing on the list is give yourself permission. Permission to feel even the difficult things. Now, it's scary and unknown and weird and hard and all the things to feel something that's negative or something that you don't want to feel. When those waves of grief hit me, it is hard and scary, but it's okay. You don't have to behave or be nice or count your blessings to fend off these feelings. You can stop judging. You can stop condemning yourself. You can accept the feeling exactly as it is. So put I can feel in the comments because you are giving yourself permission to feel. Oh, and Bev says that you sleep when you're bored, and that is true. Sometimes it's good to take a power nap or a little nap, because you can feel refreshed after. And especially if you need sleep, like me, who I'm not getting sleep at night, only because of Ireland, not because I can't sleep or my feelings are overwhelming. But sometimes when I can't sleep at night, I do process my feelings now. I start to think about the day and how I felt. And actually, it is better at night, and I wake up better. So this is great. for us to learn together. We can feel. Boredom is oh, where boredom is time off for mixed feelings. Ooh, I like that, Tina. The next thing we can do is look back. As you feel, look back. What was when was the last time you felt these same exact feelings? So if you're feeling a feeling and you take some time to look back when you felt that the last time, you can learn and process easier. How did you get through it last time? Now you can either try that same thing and get through it easier or quicker, or maybe you didn't do it too well last time. And now you want to do it a different way, a better way. And you can because you're learning from looking back and you know now how to process your feelings a little bit better. The next thing you can do is persist. Don't look for a way out. Actually go through the feeling. Just accept the feelings and let them run their course. Psychologists say that the more you do this, the faster you recover. And who doesn't want recovery? Put recovery in the comments because you want to recover. I know I do. And I want you to stick with it. God wants you to stick with it. He wants you to feel that wave pass through you. It's a process and it's a learning and it's a recovery. And we're going to keep going forward. So put forward in the comments because you're going to stick with it and you're going to feel it to move on. And that's exactly what God wants you to do. And you might think that you don't want to feel the negative emotions. I get that. I have negative emotions and I don't really want to feel them. And you can wait till later if they're too much for you right now. And maybe you want to get a professional help or a counselor to help you. Maybe you want to lean on a friend or a loved one for right now to help guide you through this process of feeling some negative or big emotion. But remember that there is something on the other side of every difficult emotion. God is trying to do something here with your feelings to connect you to Him and to other people. Tina says that God helps me regain my happy feelings after my nap. Oh, even better, taking a nap and regaining those happy feelings after. I mean, we all want to be happy. We all want to feel happy. But some days are just not happy. And that's okay. God is with you in the happiness, He's with you in the sadness, and all those other emotions that we feel in between. You could think that you don't want to or you could think that you don't see a purpose in a negative feeling. That's totally understandable too. What is the purpose of someone feeling grief so heavy that they are frozen and can't move? What is the purpose of feeling so depressed that you can't even get out of bed? God can help you see the purpose. Maybe you have so much to deal with, but just take it one emotion at a time. We can feel many things all at the same time. You can spend so much of your life, years, feeling comfortably numb just so you could do what you need to do. I mean, I think this is all moms early on in their motherhood journey. We have so many things going on, so many pressures, so many responsibilities. We get so tangled up that we survive each day just to make it to the next day, to have those uncomfortable, numb feelings again. But I'm asking you to feel because there's something amazing on the other end of it. When you just learn to feel, it can move you from that hollow feeling, that feeling of unfulfillment, that kind of depressed state of mind. And it can get you to God, connected to Him. It can break open something that you were not feeling before. It can seep in a little bit of joy. It can move you into another stage of motherhood. So you start to feel again, and you're not so numb. And then you do Jennie's process and you notice it and you name it and then you feel it. And then we're going to learn how to share it and choose it. This ride toward emotional wholeness. It has bumps, it has potholes, it has downright chunks missing. It feels more like you're off roading than traveling down a newly paved road. I don't know if you know the difference between a very old, broken down road. I know in Michigan they have some pretty bad roads, and they have some pretty bad roads here that have some potholes and sinkholes in them. But when you have that fresh new road, like in the neighborhood next to us, connected to ours, they're building like 70 homes and they put down that new road and you just want to drive on it because it's so smooth. God wants you to be there with Him, but it takes getting through those old, bumpy off roads to get to that path where it's smooth and you can feel your feelings. And it takes time. So remember, your emotions are coming out somehow. Even when you suppress them and you try not to feel them, they're underneath and they're always there. And when you're teaching your kid how to tie a shoe and he's having trouble and you get frustrated and then like something snaps, that's your emotions coming out. If you stuff them, you don't get to choose how they're going to come out. They kind of explode and burst. But if you feel them, if you process them on a regular basis, you can begin to learn how to manage and regulate. And then you get to be on that new, fresh, smooth road with God. It won't feel smooth all the time, but it definitely feels better. So, in Jennie's book, this workbook, the study guide, she has projects for every session. And we are going to talk about project number 2, and it's called contrast. And she asks us to compare one time that you felt an emotion you needed to feel versus the time that you suppressed a feeling that you needed to feel. She wants you to write it out. She wants you to chart it, actually. She has a little picture in her book. I'm just trying to make sure I get these questions in the comments. How did each of those events affect you? And what were the after effects? And she has a little chart in her book. And I'm going to show you a whiteboard here after I put these in the comments. So you have the questions there. This is my whiteboard. Um, of, well, the little chart. So she has a chart in her book that just has some boxes, and we have felt up here and suppressed. And then the emotion or feeling, I put overwhelmed and stressed. And then you suppress this feeling. And then here's the after effects. And you can fill it out and write it. I just picked one emotion that I feel kind of often, or I think moms feel a lot. And then I put in some like answers to what happened when I felt this way. I actually processed and felt that emotion. What happened? Well, I took some time to breathe and prioritize, and I actually got started on my day. I was able to connect with my kids because I wasn't suppressing and feeling that feeling throughout the day. And actually, at the end of the day, I felt accomplished because I got some things done. But when I suppressed the feeling, I was pushing the feeling aside to start my day, and I got started on my list, but I couldn't complete things quicker or quickly enough. And I had lots of distractions. I didn't connect or pay attention to my kids because when I did have time to, I was feeling that feeling underneath. I was kind of in a daze and I was frazzled and rushed. I was short with my kids actually that day, and I felt like I didn't get anything done at the end of the day. So that's the difference between actually feeling your feelings and then suppressing them or putting them down. You pick your own feeling. You go through the process and answer those questions. How did these events affect other people? Did the suppressing feeling come out in any way during the day, like mine did when I had an outburst at my kids when we were tying our shoes and it didn't go right? And I was frustrated of the suppressed feeling of being overwhelmed earlier in the day, but I pushed it down. And then now we're doing a task and I explode at my kids. How does the thought of that feeling strike you today? Those are some other questions to ask about this chart of feeling and suppressing your emotions. I just want to put that in the comments too. All these questions that we have. Did the expressed or felt emotion feel easier the next time you felt it? How did you express it? As another question in her book, in this project. And I see that Nicole came here. Hi, Nicole. And Nicole says she definitely gets the distractions when she's suppressing her feelings. We definitely feel distractions more when we aren't processing our feelings. And then Jennie's project 3 for this session is called Admit. Now, this is a tough one. I mean, who wants to admit that they're feeling any bad feeling? Not too many people that I know of. Think of a time when you felt a big feeling and describe it in detail. You can journal about it, or you can just think about it if you don't have time to journal. What did that moment feel like? What was happening in your body and in your mind and around you? Was there part of you that judged the feeling? Because we tend to do that. Oh, my computer is stuck on caps lock. And then, if so, if you did judge your feelings, why? So, this is project 3, Admit. We're digging deep into one feeling that we felt and we're admitting it and we're talking about how we felt in it and we're describing our surroundings, our body, our mind, and all that. This is just going to help you notice that feeling more. This is going to help you name that feeling next time and every time. This is going to help you feel your feelings. All of us tend to judge our feelings, and the enemy uses this to further confuse our emotional lives. He's all about confusion. And if he can confuse you, then you kind of live your life wandering. I mean, I get confused a lot. I don't know about you guys. Um, and then it makes me ask questions. And that's what I do until I understand something. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And I think that is this process that Jenny's taking us through of processing our emotions. We're getting curious about things and we're asking questions about it so then we can understand it. But we know that God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of peace. And it says In First Corinthians 14:33. To get to the place where you can simply feel without judging the feeling. Oh, whoops, that's not the actual verse. It says that God is not a God of confusion, but a God of peace in First Corinthians 14:33. Sorry about that. But to get to that place where we can feel without judging, you may have to force yourself to stop and to reach out to Him. You might have to borrow some of His compassion demonstrated throughout the whole Bible and then apply it to yourself. If you're not going to do anything else with Untangle Your Emotions except this thing, it will make a huge difference in your life. We read the Bible and we see God having compassion here and there. And Jesus, He's a compassionate God. If we take some of His compassion and we apply it to us, boom, this will make a huge impact in your emotions, in your feelings, in your everyday life, in your motherhood, in your parenting, in just every type of person you are. Are you a daughter? Are you a sister? Are you a cousin? Are you an aunt? All of those things that you are. Are you a coworker? It'll make all of those things better. His compassion, put it in your life if you don't do anything else. He will always bring you through. And project number 4 in Jennie's book is called Imagine. Now, I don't know about you, but little kids, they have a great imagination. And I always love spending time with them and just thinking up all the amazing things. Whenever I'm at the doctor's office, they have this game that's projected on the floor, and there's always little kids over there playing it. Well, when we sit close, I start to ask them questions. Oh, which one are you supposed to step on now? Oh, stomp your feet, stomp your feet. We start imagining things together. When you're around little kids, you can have fun and imagine because their imagination kind of leaks onto you. But I want you to imagine on your own, even if you don't have kids around you, when you are home alone. That sounds pretty awesome to me, but at the same time, I know it's not. When I am home alone, I'm always thinking about all the projects that I need to get done. But instead of doing that, I want to use my imagination to help my emotions. Project 4, Imagine. You get to go back to the spot where you originally noticed your feelings in session 2, the noticing part. You pick a playlist. That's what she says in for this project. Pick songs based on your mood and then the emotion that you want to feel, and then push play and listen to music. Music and imagination, they kind of go hand in hand together. It's pretty amazing. People who play music, people who play instruments, and make music, they have a good imagination. I want you to go back there. I want you to pick some songs to play. You can either do it on your phone, you can have it play on your speakers, you can have it go on your TV, whatever. There's so many ways to interact with music today, and there's so many free ways. But I know I have some friends who have those subscriptions to things, and you can play music there. But get a playlist going for your emotions. So if you're feeling sad, pick some songs that can help you process that feeling of sadness. And if you're feeling if you want to feel excitement, get some of those dance music songs and get a playlist together for that. Then you have all your playlists like ready, or even just one song for each emotion. And then on that day, when you're feeling that emotion, tap into that playlist or song and just listen to it. and it helps you feel and process. Put Jesus into the feeling that you are feeling and ask him what he thinks about it. So if you wake up feeling depressed, you don't even want to get out of bed, ask Jesus what he thinks about it. And then remember, we are going to get to what we do on the next lesson. Share. But for now, just get into that practice of not judging your feelings and just feel them. Because sometimes you feel bad feelings and sometimes you feel good feelings, and they're both okay. I love that Tina put music equals emotions. That's so true. Whenever I listen to any music, I can feel it. I can feel what the person who made the music was feeling, and what they want you to feel. It's like so awesome. And Bev puts polkas because they make her feel happy. Polka music, you're taking me back to my childhood, just saying polkas. You have many parts of yourself. Um, Part of you can feel afraid, and part of you can be excited, and part of you can be sad at the same exact time about the same exact event. I know this full well. I guess just the moment that came to my mind was when I was in labor with Ireland, and people are like asking how you're feeling and what's going on, and it's just mixed feelings. And most Sundays, like I have people ask me at church, how are you feeling, or what's going on, or how are you? And I'm always like conflicted because I'm feeling more than one feeling, but it's okay. And sometimes feeling mixed feelings is confusing. But remember that verse, 1 Corinthians 14:33, talks about God not being a God of confusion, but he's a God of peace. So we want to feel peace. Understanding that part of you can that you can experience one thing, and part of you can experience a completely different thing at the same exact time is part of feeling peace, at peace. It's just us being human. And it's part of the capacity that God gave you because you're made in his image to carry many things at one time. And that's pretty amazing. That he's allowed us to feel many things at one time, and it's not to confuse us. Um, you can take it one step at a time, you could break it down, or you can feel those feelings all at one time. But know that you feel. You are not your feelings, but you feel. Gotta put that one in the comments. Jennie says in her book that she's learned nothing is better at helping her make sense of confusion or those knots in her soul than asking two questions while she invites God in. So I guess the key here is invite God in. That's the number one. And then here are two questions that you can ask God, and they will be helpful to you in your feelings. God, with this feeling I'm feeling, what do you want me to know? And God, what do you want me to do? Those are the two questions that Jennie has found to be super helpful when we're dealing with our emotions. And they are great questions to kind of get you out of the spiral effect, but back into connecting with him, inviting him in, asking him what he thinks about your feelings. That's what he wants. He's waiting to lead you beside those still waters, to shepherd your soul. He's inviting you to come close and feel your emotions in the safety of relationship with him. Psalm 55:22 says, cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. You are the righteous. I want you to put safe in the comments because he is your safe place. You can give your worries to him. He will take care of you. He will never let you down. The goal of this Untangle Your Emotions is to dig deep into God's plan for your emotions and feelings. And that's why these two questions that we shared here today are super important. God, what do you want me to know? God, what do you want me to do with this big feeling or this little feeling or these feelings? And then we're going to deeply engage with our hearts. The goal is to make God bigger, the biggest. So everything else, including all your little and big emotions, they fit in place so that you can connect with Him and others. And Beth says that she actually asked God those questions this week. That's awesome. And this will be even, this isn't a one-time thing. This is a over and over and over again. God, what do you want me to know? Because I'm feeling this way. And God, I'm feeling this way. So what do you want me to do? We can stay in alignment with Him and what He wants for us instead of spiraling out of control. And next week, we're going to start talking about sharing. And hopefully, we have more people on our live so we can share together. Let me know in the comments, what was that one thing that stuck out to you today? And I think my thing is just like life is full of feelings. Jennie talked about feeling more than one feeling at a time. And I know that you and I have probably felt those mixed feelings. Life is full of emotions, and it doesn't always go the way we want it to go. But God has a plan and a purpose. God has a plan and a purpose for you. God has a plan and a purpose for me. God has a plan and a purpose for us and every single emotion that you feel. Let's connect to Him. I hope to see you in the comments next Friday. That's at 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern for all my Michigan friends. And just remember the goal. Connect with God. Make God bigger. And all those tangled up emotions can get smoothed out into new road. And that's it for today. And I had a kid that kept coming in here and showing me Ireland. And at one point, I was going to ask him if I can hold on to her, but he left and shut the door. If you didn't hear that on the video, and we did not mute our microphone, and we were live with some people in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. And it was great to see Nicole pop in. Have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. Happy connecting, everyone. And it's just great to have a group of women interacting in the comments. So if you are watching that replay, I just encourage you to step out and put something in the comments. Put that takeaway in the comments or something so we can connect with each other here. And I will see you next time.